The Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hi there and welcome. Hey, we have a lot to cover today, but I really want to get a lot of information out to you. Number one, we are all, of course, very upset, I should say, about the media not telling us things after that Biden speech of well over 2 weeks ago now, that hopefully those issues are going to be drying up. But the media all knew about it well before last January and even a year and a half ago, and they never reported it. And then all of a sudden at Biden's speech, I should say debate with Trump, all of a sudden they realized how debilitated he was. The press knew it right along and never reported it and never apologized for it. And when I say the press, I'm talking about ABC, NBC, CNN. They knew it from the get-go, a long time ago, even around the time that he was running for president 3.5 years ago, and they kept him in the basement and knew why they were doing it, under the pretense of COVID. And the truth is, he has gotten a bit worse since that time, but they haven't reported a thing, and like I say, have not apologized for it. In fact, they even called other news agencies, Bloomberg and Fox, they called them fake news reportings that Trump has, not Trump, Biden has disabilities. Well, they also mistold things about Trump, too. They are not a reporting agency. They're an indoctrinating agency, each one of them. And I think now the public knows it and the whole world knows significantly more of what's going on. Well, I have one question that very consistently most of the news, the agencies I mentioned, never even questioned or brought it up. And that is, in this Gaza-Israeli war, how come a lot of the Arab states are not temporarily taking the Palestinians and giving them a temporary tent city or something to get them away from the fighting? Isn't that funny that they all have their gates closed to them? No one asked why. Well, I can tell you why. When Trump was president, and of course the news did not report it, the news agencies I mentioned, they had a very important Abraham Accord with Israel. While those Arabs I mentioned, those different countries stick together, they want Israel to survive, not Iran. Because if Iran wins this war, they capture all the Arab nations and maybe even Russia, which is the weakest. I don't think they can capture China, but they may try to, and certainly some of Chinese territory. So these other Arab states that would not accept the Palestinians during this conflict, which is still going on, have a reason for it. They have a trading accord with Israel. They get along fair and honestly with Israel. And these states are all Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Arab Emirates, Jordan, and there are a couple of others, like even besides the Arab Emirates, also Qatar. And it's very interesting that none of them want anything to do with the Palestinian people. And only because they voted in Hamas, the terrorist organizations. Also, Hamas has a brotherhood friendship with Hezbollah and Lebanon. So, and it's very interesting. Lebanon, right next to Israel and Gaza Strip, they're not taking any Palestinians either. Doesn't anybody ask questions about how come? How come? And that's because these countries want peace, want coexistence, and want trade agreements with Israel. Israel even permits, I should say, many Palestinians both to stay in the West Bank and even in Israel proper, as long as they get along and agree with their peaceful coexistence program. If there's any negative propaganda behind the scenes and Israel finds out about it, those people are exited rather quickly from the area. But they are more than glad to have peace-loving Palestinians or Arabs joining their ranks. They even allow a couple of Muslim churches, or whatever you want to call them, along with Israel's temples. As long as they're peaceful, they are welcome. Now, why can't all of this come out in the regular news? If the Gaza residents, the Palestinian people, and I realize the women and children want peace, most of the men want peace, that may be true, but what is also true is they voted for Hamas ruling their state, which everyone else is against. And you've got to be responsible for what you vote for. And that includes the United States with our elections coming up. It looks pretty clear that Trump is the nominee. He has the delegates. He has now a unified party. But the Democrats, even though they have some splits right now, the fact remains the Democrats have a different agenda. And I repeat from my last broadcast, you're not voting for a person nearly as much as you are voting for an agenda. And there are two very different agendas. The Democratic Party really wants the Supreme Court to be yes men to all of their proposals, not to be a check and balance to see that the Constitution is enforced, which is what they swear for and what they take under oath when they become members of the court. Now, look it. You want an open border. All the Democrats voted for that, and that was the agenda 3.5 years ago. If they have changed their mind that an unfiltered open border is not good for the country, I'm not asking them to change party affiliations. I'm not asking independents to change their party affiliations. I'm asking them to vote with intelligence and common sense this time around. It's very, very clear. The two different agendas, they are almost exact opposites. And also with the Arabs in this case, they are very strong. The ones that signed the Abraham Accord are very unified, and they are continuing to trade with absolutely the entire Jewish settlement and Israel. So, in fact, they're even giving armaments and help in their own way. And guess what? The media is not reporting that of the Arabs who support Israel. And this is what has me upset to bring to you today's discussion. All the news agencies, I don't care which one they are, which one you watch or are thinking of, they all have the obligation to thoroughly report facts of what is going on. And without that, we don't have a media, we don't have objectivity. I'm also at the moment, even though more than half my life I was a Democrat, right now I'm very upset with them. Why? Because people in charge, even Hillary Clinton, all Republicans are deplorables, according to her. Biden himself said, all of you black people, if you're a Republican, you are not black. What a ridiculous statement. And all they're trying to do is to have a one-party system, not a two-party system, and the ones ending democracy are not the Republicans this time around, but the Democratic Party this time around. And I'm very upset to have to say that. When you vote, you better be very careful of what you're wishing for. An open border where at this point, the people who wanted to come here, the citizens, the normal working citizens, they have already come in the first 2 years. The people coming now are these third world countries emptying out their prisons, emptying out their mental institutions, and getting rid of people in and out of jails so they don't have to pay for all of this nonsense in court proceedings. And guess where they're going? They're all coming to the United States at this point if we keep our borders open. Now, good people can still come, but do it the right way. Apply. Give your historical record of whatever country you come from. Mention why you want to come and what you will do when you come. Not looking for more handouts than our own welfare people get, but who really want to help build the country and have a nice, free community where people get along, where crime is at a minimum. Plain and simple, common sense. That's what we have to vote for when it comes this November. I repeat, we're not voting for a person. You're not voting for Trump per se. You're not voting for Biden per se or anyone else. You're voting for two very different policies. One builds the middle class, one destroys the middle class. One allows the criminals across the border, one reverses it and stops it. There are plenty of black and white decisions, and I repeat, I'm not asking anyone to switch their parties. I think in this country it's important that we have a strong Democratic Party and we have a strong Republican Party, and every now and then specialty parties, including the Independent Party, they make contributions too. It's usually on one or two issues. They rarely have a lot of candidates running for office, but they can, and they do make contributions as they have if we read our history of the United States. They're all different names, Whig parties, Greenbackers, and you name it. Even Ross Perot had his name used as a separate party. But they all made significant contributions, and they're to be encouraged also. So please, folks, don't go changing party affiliations. I want you to be all interested in getting all the facts, as many facts as possible. I guess there's no one person that has everything. But keep your party affiliation and make it strong, and you don't make it strong by bad-mouthing the other one. That does nothing but destroy our democracy. And the people who have made all these ridiculous comments have a lot to apologize for, including the media. And I hope sooner or later, preferably sooner, we do get some apologies across the board. It would help clean the air and make this a honest election, not a shouting match or a fighting election or more crime than ever. The Republicans have the right to have a peaceful agenda at their convention in Milwaukee very soon, around the corner, and the Democrats have the right in Chicago to have a peaceful, productive, fascinating convention to watch, not a bunch of demonstrators and not a bunch of gunshots and what have you. Both parties deserve to prevent their platforms and let us, all the people, decide which platform we want. Not so much a person, but which platform. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back very soon, and I'll give you a little more information on the Arabs. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
It's hurricane season. Prune your trees now with Scott Tree Services. Strengthen your trees against high winds and remove broken limbs that could cause damage. Don't get nervous. Call Scott Tree Services. Sturgis Lumber is the county's most trusted hardware store. Sturgis stocks stainless steel products, power tools, construction and painting supplies, propane, plumbing, and electrical parts. 4645 US 1 Vero Beach. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens, Hollywood, and Kingsley Bait. We specialize in fire bits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a super summer sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
Well, hi there and welcome back. Hey, I just want to say that I am very happy to see that there are peace-loving Arabs and Arab countries who really want to develop their own working class, their own middle class with a dominant religion. There's nothing wrong with that if they're peace-loving, if they bring the fighting, the guns, the shooting, the killing, the beheading. They've lost all respect. But the companies I mentioned, the countries I mentioned, are not doing that at all. They are sticking together, and they realize Israel is stronger than they are in some regards, especially when it comes to military and development and ammunition changes and so forth. And they work together beautifully. There's no reason why everyone in the Middle East can't work together beautifully. And this ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and all these terrorist groups coming to life again, including Hamas, including Hezbollah, they are all outparcels of Iran. They have got to be put in their place. We want peace around the world, and it will be good if it starts in the Middle East. And that will send big messages not only to Russia, but even China. Believe me, if China thought they'd get away with it, which they won't, they would have had Tehran invaded before now. But China has economic problems. China needs Iran. Their oil needs the oil from Russia. So all of a sudden, they've got to put their tail between their legs, make tests, and see what's going on. So on that note, we'll see you next week, but please remember the issues, not the people. Have a good one. Hello.